So I have this friend, and she is getting ready to sell her home, but she also needs to buy a home. And she's afraid that she's going to sell her home before she finds one to buy. And she's basically going to be homeless or have to go live with the in-laws or live in a motel, I don't know, just not in her own home. What should she do? Or what's the next step that she should take?
Well, it is complicated. One of the most complicated real estate transactions. So she needs to do it right.
Don't mess it up, right?
Don't mess it up. She needs to do it right from the beginning.
And it seems tedious. It does. So the topic that Voltaire and I are talking about right now is you want to buy a home, but you're still living in your home and you need to sell it. So we're going to just go on and talk about what's the process. And today I am with Voltaire Lepe, who is the CEO of Lepe Tendwell Properties and the top 8 real estate agent here in San Diego.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for that intro.
Awesome. So what's the process for this, Voltaire? How do we not go homeless or end up living with our in-laws?
So again, I'll reiterate, this is the most complex real estate transaction out there. And a couple of reasons. I'll just start off with the first reason. If in this market right now, it's low inventory, meaning there isn't that many homes out there on the market to choose from. So one of the biggest concerns of a lot of people is the real estate catch-22, as we call it, right? So this is the real estate catch-22 because, hey, do I sell my home first or do I go find a home first and then sell my home after? But then so they're afraid of either being homeless without any homes, right? Selling theirs and not finding another, or having 2 houses, finding a house, buying a house, and then they're stuck with 2 homes.
They're still stuck with their home.
Yeah, they're with their home that they're trying to sell and they can't sell.
Right.
So you have to do it right. The first way to do it right is, when you talk to your realtor, because you probably shouldn't do it on your own, or maybe you should hire an attorney if you are trying to do it on your own without a real estate agent's help, that the contract's right. Because what's going to happen is, I'll tell you the first step to do is when you hire a realtor, you should probably put your home on the market first. Okay, put your home on the market, find a buyer first. Now, within the contract itself, your friend, she probably has to negotiate within the contract with the buyer that the buyer's okay going into escrow, opening an escrow, and allowing your friend, the seller, right, to go out and find a home, a replacement property. And this buyer that your friend finds is going to allow her 30 days to go out and find a home. Now, from there, the contract has to be ironclad. It has to be specifically in there because there's a lot of people that miss that. And you could just imagine.
And that's where it just goes.
Right, because if someone misses that specific clause in the contract and they find a buyer for their home, their buyer has every right to move forward, close the deal in 30 days, and have your friend, the seller, out of the house, whether she has a replacement property or not.
And 30 days is 30 days.
Yeah,
how many of you see yourselves packing up in 30 days and just up and going? That's a tough one.
Yeah, I have a seller right now. We're putting her home on the market today, actually. And we started this process back in June for her packing, just for her to get it ready. And
That's what I'm talking about, guys.
And I went yesterday. Yeah, I went yesterday, and it still wasn't. She's had so much stuff. Yeah. So my question to her was, hey, well, when are you planning on moving forward and getting the ball rolling and selling your home? And she said, well, right now. And I looked around and I said, looks like you haven't done much.
You're like, where? Where are the boxes?
Yeah, it's been like 3 months, but she's been living in that home for the last 30 years. Back to the topic, right? It does take a long time. 30 days isn't a long time. So if you miss that clause in the contract, your friend could suffer a lot.
Right.
Okay, so the next thing, so first is negotiating the contract, making it ironclad to where the buyer allows you 30 days to go find a home. Now, after you do that, you go into escrow with the buyer, and then you go out and you start looking at homes and you start writing offers. And today's market's going to be a little bit tough because there isn't that much inventory, so therefore the home that you thought in your mind you could get probably isn't out there, or at least for the price that you want to pay.
It's right.
So then you have 30 days to go out there and negotiate and write up offers and look at homes and things like that. Now, once you do find, let's go with worst case scenario. Let's say the 30 days are up and you don't find anything, or let's say your friend doesn't find anything.
Right.
what's going to happen? Well, at that point, your friend, she's going to have to go back to the negotiating table with the buyer and tell the buyer, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, I couldn't find a home, right? I still want to sell you the property because I want to get another home for whatever reason, whether it's a move-up home or a downsize, but I just can't find anything. So will you allow me another 30 days or 15 days or 45 days? This is negotiable, okay? The time frames are negotiable. So at that point, the buyer comes back and may say, yes, I'll give you 30 days, go find another home. Or they might have conditions. They might say, hey, look it, I'm okay with giving you 20 days, but at the end of 20 days, you have to remove your contingency to find another home. And if you don't, then, I could walk away, or they might even put other conditions like you owe me $1,000.
Wow.
Or whatever. They might even charge them for that extension.
Right.
Okay. So there's different things to negotiate on a negotiating table. You just have to do it right. That way you come out winning. Because at the end of the day, your friend, she has leverage because it's low inventory and people would want her home.
Yeah, it really sounds like there's a lot of things that you have to weigh there, but the most important thing is probably not to do it on your own, because I don't know about you guys, but that seems like a lot to remember. It's a process, and it's probably a lot better if you have an expertise real estate agent who explained it so beautifully to us to help you through the whole process.
Right. And just to finalize, I guess, the conversation about it, once you do find a home, right? And that's like the best case scenario.
You're like her?
Yeah, you find a home, you negotiate, you write an offer, you get it accepted, you go into escrow. Now you have 2 escrows you have to worry about.
Oh.
Right?
Oh, the plot thickens.
Right, so the plot thickens. So now you have to worry about selling your home the right way with the disclosures and the buyer's home inspections and appraisals and all these inspections that they're doing.
Right.
And simultaneously, you're doing your inspections, your appraisal, dealing with your lender to get the loan, all these requirements that they're asking.
You're doing 2 things at once.
Yeah, 2 things at once. You have to multitask, and your agent could walk you through it. And at the end of the day, you would want to, most people are going to use a loan. Now, if you're dealing with cash, your friends, has cash laying around and she doesn't have to use a bank, then it's not a problem.
Has a stash under the mattress.
Yeah, exactly. So anyhow, what your friend would want to do at that point is close both of them concurrently. Okay, with her property that she lives in, selling first. Let's just throw out hypothetical dates. Sells on November 1st. Mm-hmm. Okay, you still need to wire in the money from over here to her new property, to her new purchase.
Right.
Right. So let's say that money, it closes on November 1st. You get the money on November 2nd, November 3rd over here into this escrow. And at that point, your friend's lender wires in their money, and then you close this deal on November 4th, November 3rd, November 5th, a couple days later, usually, right? What's going to happen between November 1st that the next buyer has the right to move into your friend's house, okay? Through November 5th when you get possession of the next home, right? What's going to happen those days? Is your friend going to move to a motel? So this is what you have to.
Unknown.
Exactly. So that's what you have to negotiate up front, saying, hey, look it, I'll sell you my property, but you have to give me 7 days to move into my next home, right? And then at that point, you can negotiate either it's free rent or you pay a pro rata share of their mortgage payment or whatever. So you have to skillfully do that, because if not, then you're stuck and all of a sudden you have a tenant-landlord situation with the buyer that's buying your property and you're the tenant. So it's not fun.
No.
So, but in a perfect world, your friend would close on November 1st, her home that she sold, and the home she's buying, she closes on November 2nd, and then she moves in over the weekend, a few days, and then those buyers move in afterwards, and everyone's happy.
Definitely. Well, that definitely does seem like quite a process, but again, Voltaire explains it so well. So we talked about the situation. You definitely gave us some awesome tips. What's her next step now? What should she do?
Well, your friend should contact the Lepe Tendwell real estate agent. Again, we'll sit down with anyone that's in that situation, your friend or whoever, and give them a free consultation. There's no obligation, and then we can basically go over your goals, what you're trying to accomplish, and then we'll provide a strategy, play by play. That way, your friend or anyone else doesn't get caught in a situation that they don't want to be in.
And if you are in the situation where you want to buy a home, but you still have a home to sell, leave us those comments in the section below. We'd love to answer them, and we're happy to interact with you guys. Don't forget to like our video, subscribe to our YouTube channel at Lepe Tendwell Properties. Thanks for watching.